And I want cable, the premium channels.
You stole my line, you parasite. How dare you?
I know, that's the thing. I summoned that from you. No, it's funny because you did, but because the reason why I was going to use that line, because I mean, how dated?
How
can we
90s? How 90s is that reference?
How 90s it was. That's why I was like, that's a funny line, because he asked for cable channels, or he asked for cable TV in his cell with premium channels. I'm just like, oh wow, remember those days?
Yeah, I remember those days.
Jeez.
I didn't have it. That was the thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like sometimes, yeah, and you get that analog box, and you're like, you get the broadcast channels and the premium, or that's not even the premium channels. Yeah, I don't know. We could go through a whole thing,
right,
and we're not going to do that.
Right, cable guy. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. By the way, the movie The Cable Guy, when it comes to Jim Carrey, and when he first installs Matthew Broderick's cable, it's so wrong. Anyways, hey, welcome to DC Fan-imated. Welcome.
You never stop mentioning that. I cannot tell you how many times in the last, dear God, how it's been, what, 2019? Yeah, so it's been 4 years. 4 years. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that story. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, I know, right? I bring it up a lot. Where I'm just like, every time I watch it, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But hey, that's what happens. So it's just like when my dad's a helicopter pilot. Anytime he watches a movie that has to do with a crazy thing a helicopter does, he goes, get the hell. It's like, come on. Like, it's just that one thing. So, but anyways, guys, welcome to DC Fan-imated stream. I'm, of course, Dave the Film Junkie. We've got Scott here. What's going on, Scott? Nice shirt.
Thank you very much. I've now flaunted all the shirts, because if you've got it, flaunt it.
Exactly. Lucky son of a bee.
Yeah, well,
next week.
Some of us are fast.
Yeah, you are. You're quick when it comes to merchandise, for sure. And you try to be, you share with your quickness. You definitely do, but sometimes I don't see it, or I like glance at my messages and then get distracted and then completely forget. I'm like, God damn it, missed the window.
Pay attention. You got to pay attention.
Got to jump right on it.
Like in this episode, because I'm going to have some fun with this one, because once again, we are talking about the season 1 finale. Yes, folks, we're already to the end of season 1 of Superman, the animated series.
And just like we were talking about last week, it's like you'd think that last week, Tools of the Trade, the way that ended, that would be a perfect way to end the season. But they went, no, we got this one right here, which essentially, I mean, it's just like it's a Superman episode with a Superman villain. And yeah, that's it. It kind of,
well, because I'm going to be honest with you that I don't think, I mean, we label this as season 1. I don't think they started thinking about seasons and like, how a season began and how a season ended. I really don't think that hit until like season 1 of Batman Beyond, where you got to the final episode of season 1 and it feels like, oh, we're ending a season.
Yeah. Okay, that does make sense. But it's just kind of weird because it's like that. I mean, second to last episode just was such a, oh my God. And then you go, all right, now we're back to just like this. But yeah, that does make sense, because even when it came to the end of, what was the last episode of Batman, the animated series? It was like wasn't it the Terrible Trio or something like that?
No. Terrible Trio was the last episode. Because we went in production order. Yeah. So I think it was Batgirl Returns.
I thought it was okay, maybe.
It was because in my head, here's the problem. In my head, I'm forgetting the difference between the last episode in production order and the last episode in air date order, because the last episode in air date order was The Lion and the Unicorn.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, which that definitely wasn't the last one we did. Let's see. I'm scrolling back to see, because now I'm curious. Now I'm like, what was the last episode that we did? That's right. We're just going by the seat of our pants here, folks. Let's see. It wasn't that one. It wasn't Sub-Zero. Jeez, come on. Where's it at? Yeah, it was Batgirl Returns.
Told you. Why do you doubt me,
sir?
No,
I doubt. Was it? You were uncertain. You were uncertain.
I was not. I was being modest. I was being modest in my uncertainty. I didn't want to embarrass you with the fact that I just remember this shit like that.
You were. I felt some uncertainty in your voice, so I wanted to double check. Just doing, just fact checking.
Verify. I see what you're doing.
Yes, exactly. I know. Was secretly hoping you were wrong. All right.
Oh,
All right.
and you were once again put in your
Wrong.
place.
I know. Was. What's going on, Jason? Good to see you. We also got Ryan right here. Yeah, what an episode. It's still a good episode. It's still definitely a good episode.
And a great follow-up to last week's episode in that who the episode starts off with. So
true. That's right. So yeah, we see you returning now. Yes, I know. The freaking Dodgers, they can't stop winning. I get it. At least the Giants won today. But anyways, folks, I do want to put a disclaimer out there because I am in Southern California and we got Hurricane Hillary that is just riding up the coast. It hasn't been that bad here at all. Like, it's just been raining all day where I'm at. But there has been spots in Southern California where power has been, just went out and then, of course, came back. So if I happen to drop off,
it's
I
the
don't
parasite sucking his energy away.
There we go. That's what we're here, folks. But yes, it's Parasite. The Parasite of Hillary. I almost said Hillary Clinton.
I was waiting. I was like,
yes.
How long before Dave goes there?
Well, how many jokes? I mean, there's so many jokes. I saw memes and everything that.
I haven't seen these.
I'll
show me later.
There's people were making little graphics of putting her face on like the storm and everything like that. I mean, you label it Hillary, people are gonna make the Hillary Clinton jokes. You just can't avoid that. But yes, so if that happens, I don't think it will. I think I'll be all right. I think we're gonna get hit the hardest with it like during the night into tomorrow morning, if anything. So should be good, but just want to put it out there just in case all of a sudden I freeze. You like how I did that?
No, it would have been better if you had done it in Michael and Sarah's voice and been like, freeze.
Yes, that would have been better. But anyway, so with this episode, season finale, and yes, we do start off with two characters that we met in last episode. Well, we got this house. We got a bunch of armored police guys with like the shields and the armor.
It's a SWAT team.
SWAT, yeah. What that we talked about. That's of course, we got Turpin and we got Miss Sawyer that leads this squad right here, and they're trying to get into to this house that Mr. Earl Garver is standing. And then we got Professor, what's his name again? I totally forgot his last name.
Oh my god, Hamilton.
Emil
Hamilton. Yes.
Dad, don't sound that disappointed.
I am. You can't. Why must you always disappoint me?
I try not to. But then so obviously they want to get in, and Earl is, of course, not gonna, because obviously he's from Star Labs. He stole something that's very he
stole an isotope.
Yes,
he basically built a nuclear bomb.
Yes, which that's no good. And then of course when they try to reasonably get him out, he's like, hell no. So then Dan's like, let's do it my way. I love that.
Let's storm the hill. I mean,
pretty much what he does. Armored truck with like a big beam, whatever the heck in front of it, just nail
the battering ram.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But of course, Earl being
a genius.
Yes. It might look like a house on the outside, but it is reinforced with just full on steel all around it. So naturally, you need the Man of Steel to break through it. But even with Superman didn't expect. I mean, obviously, he got through the front door pretty quickly, but damn, that second door.
It kicked him on his ass. Yeah. I mean, it was. Once again, I love having a Superman who struggles. Like, even when he punches, like, it takes him like 2 hits to get through the door, and then he smashes himself into that electrified door, and it like blows him back all the way outside. And he has to be smart. I love how he takes the door. He takes the first door he ripped off, and he throws it through the electrified part to bust it open. So that was, once again, I like the cool thing about having a Superman that struggles is that it allows him to be more intelligent and creative, because he can't just, smash through everything. Exactly. And I think as I was thinking about this part, because I feel like that this whole opening sequence with him busting into Dr. Garver's house really is a testament to when you make your Superman not just absolutely perfect and all powerful, you allow I feel like you allow the character to be more, because like I said, he has to problem solve. He has to figure out, okay, how am I going to get past this obstacle if I can't just smash my way through? And I think that's a much more engaging interpretation of the character.
It's true. And then even like before this, I mean, there was a whole like gunfight thing that happened where it was like where basically it was well, we have obviously not only is it reinforced, but it's also got, we got
Lasers, we've got lasers.
lasers and Turpin gets like shot in the knee, man.
Which,
And
by the way, did you notice we don't actually see him get shot?
yeah,
I was
we
like,
don't.
standards and practices strikes
Standard
again.
standards and practices. Sorry, I had the wrong background up there. I had the last week's background. Hold on. I'm just not on top of it today. Anyways. No, but like, what the heck? Why is that not working? There we go. No, that's the old one. Hold on. Sorry, StreamYard's being stupid right now.
Is
Hold
it
on.
really
It's
StreamYard being
it's
stupid?
it's both. It's both.
Okay, okay.
It's both. It's a collaboration of like, because it was telling me. Anyways, so there we go. That's better.
Oh, there. Oh, I recognize that
Yay.
guy. There we
There's that
go.
guy. Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute. As you were talking, I went, oh shit.
Okay. So, okay, everyone, that's Dave admitting that he nods off while I'm talking. He just can't bother to listen to me talk. I see how this is.
That's
A lot of
exactly.
truth is happening here at the end of season 1. I'm just saying.
Huh? What? Okay, we're ready. All right, let's do this. No, but yeah, but so like you were saying, when it came to like him still learning how to deal with all this stuff, but I mean, but yeah, right outside that's what's happening there. And yes, like I even wrote in my notes, I like how he did take that door and just threw it right into that one. But then of course, when he's inside, and then we see that he sees Earl on the second floor, who's just kind of pacing around. Obviously he sees it through, using his x-ray vision, but then all of a sudden the lights just like shine in his eyes, and then more artillery like starts firing at him, and it's just like, man, he's prepared. Earl is prepared.
Earl is prepared, but I also, once again, he's shooting him with bullets, so
Yes.
of course they're not going to actually pierce him, but they hurt.
Yeah, they're not standard bullets. I think they're like explosive rounds, maybe.
Yeah, because like when they
Yeah.
hit him, there's all that
Yeah.
there's that smoke that goes around, and they're hitting him with enough kinetic force that it, once again, it like knocks him on his ass again.
Exactly.
So its idea is that he's not piercing his skin, but the momentum is still like forcing him back, and you can tell like it stings.
It's
And
just kind of, yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was just reminding me of BVS a little bit with the lights and I mean, obviously he, Batman used the sonic wave thing, but then all of a sudden he had the artillery too. It just kind of reminded me a little bit of that. But because at first, I mean, even though it's not going to stop Superman, it slows him down.
it slows him down because like the lights, he can't use his
Yeah.
X-ray vision because it's too bright. The gun doesn't pierce him, but it hurts.
Yeah. Definitely does tickle a little bit, but obviously he takes all that out, and then he just goes right through the floor to where Earl is, and of course Earl's talking about the bomb that's encased with lead, so he'll never find it. And then and then he has another trick up his sleeve. He hits a button which is in a weird spot on the desk. It's just like right, it's like, no, it's not right there. It's just right there. Anyways, and the ceiling opens up, and it's kind of interesting because it's like, yeah, why not? And you have this like arm that has just like a platform that's probably made of pure lead, steel, whatever the heck, that just like comes down on Superman, and he struggles to just try to like not get squashed.
Yeah, but then it's really cool because when he summons up that last little bit of oomph, and then I love how he pushes it into the ceiling, and he's pushing it so far that like all the gears are like falling out because it's not supposed to go that far up. And I love that.
But you gotta, but then of course, he ends up kind of messing up a little bit because one of the big like trunk cables that comes down hits Earl in the head and knocks him out. So then we get this sci-fi scenario that we've seen in like almost where it's like, okay, the dude that knows where the bomb is now unconscious. How are we going to do this? And this is where Professor Hamilton just kind of goes like, well, here's an idea. And it's always like, that's not a good idea, but I guess there's no other way, because they said he has a concussion. He's going to be unconscious for like 2 days, and the bomb's going to go off in like 4 hours or something like
Yeah, it
that.
was 4 hours was the number we got
Yeah.
from Maggie. Yeah.
Yeesh. So yeah, that's where Parasite comes back. Good old Rudy. Rudy.
I love the fact. I love the fact that Rudy's one ask. His one ask. I'll do it, but I don't want no books. I want cable with the premium channels. And I just love looking at Hamilton, Sawyer, and Superman just kind of look at each other like, that's it. Like, that's all it's going to cost us to get his help.
Nothing about parole or anything like that, like freedom. He probably realized, nah, they ain't going to let me out of this. I'm a freak now, So just give me some entertainment. I'm tired of reading books. It's like, but yeah, but again, showing the 90s about the premium channels. That's why, making the joke.
I also want to take an opportunity right now, because it's going to come up later, but oh my God, this episode was so gorgeously animated. Like, this is like the A team working this episode, which is really great considering that the first Parasite episode was most decidedly the B team animating it. And not only that, but with the HD transfer, when Superman the animated series finally got upscaled to remastered in HD, and it came out on Blu-ray and it's on HD on Max. I love how when you've got the gorgeous A-team animation and you've got the remastered HD-ness of it, but yet they still don't bother to scrub out all of like the cell dirt. Like the cell dirt is still there. And I'm like, yes, thank you for keeping some of that dirt.
Something nice about that. Something nice about that. Yeah. I like it, where it's like, the imperfections. That's what's great.
Because it just reminds you that we're still in hand-drawn animation land. Like, we have it. We're not yet to when they move to digital inking paint. We make it through to about season 2 of Batman Beyond before they move to that. And you'll tell. Like, there'll be a moment where you go, and that's when they went digital.
Yes, that's when they made the transition, which but it's always nice to see that, just like a nice little nostalgic reminder of where all this was, and especially back in the 90s. But we get that, and then we get they put Rudy into like obviously strapped to like a bed or a platform kind of thing, and they even have his hand like with a cover on it, and then they
take a moment here.
Okay,
take a moment here. This is where I'm going to blow your mind.
That's what I'm here for, baby.
Okay, so when they roll Rudy in, what kind of vibes did you get?
I was like Hannibal Lecter.
Okay. Do you know who the voice of Dr. Earl Garver is?
No, I don't. Who is it?
Okay. This is amazing. I love this. Okay. Brian Cox.
Oh, you fucker. Yes. I was thinking, watch, it's good because he was in Manhunter. Right?
Manhunter. He played Hannibal. Yes. In Manhunter. Yes.
Oh, for some reason, like my brain went, how much you want to bet? And then you fucking said it. I was like, yes. I was like, God, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Because if you didn't know this, folks, before Silence of the Lambs, there was Manhunter. And Brian Cox was Hannibal Lecter in that movie, which
because Manhunter with William Peterson as Will Graham and Brian Cox as Hannibal Lecter is the first film adaptation of Red Dragon, which was the novel that actually introduced Hannibal Lecter as a character. Now, of course, that movie later got remade with Anthony Hopkins, and that had Ed Norton and Ray Fiennes in it. But Manhunter was a very 80s version of
100%
of the Red Dragon novel. But Brian Cox playing a very different Hannibal Lecter than Anthony Hopkins did.
Still a good one though. He still played a good one.
I need to go back and rewatch Manhunter. But
it's been a while. But I just remember, I was like, okay, it's still decent.
Yeah. I mean,
not
and
as
of course,
good as Hopkins, but
no, not at all. Yeah. But once again, for anyone who's watching, if you don't know Brian Cox, as you know, Stryker from X2, Logan Roy from Succession, this is who we're talking about. He's the voice of
the police chief in Super Troopers. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was. Yes. Yeah.
He's been all over the place. I mean, it's like he's one of those guys where, I mean, he was just in the Billions show or no.
No, he was in Succession.
Succession, that's right. I always
Yes.
get those two mixed up for some reason. But yeah, he's in that show too. So yeah, Brian Cox. Yeah, check that out. But yeah, there's definitely those vibes to it right there. And then of course, like they had like a little cover over his hand, and then they trigger it
Which
where
is
it
kind
comes
of
out.
like the mask that Lecter would
Exactly.
wear. Yeah.
So definitely those vibes. And of course, he just like touches his, and when all of a sudden you see the electricity going on, and then all of a sudden Rudy is just like, ah, and you're kind of going like, what the heck? Well, it turns out Earl, being the genius that he is, he overpowers Parasite, which is, whoa, didn't think that could happen.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This episode, I had forgotten
Yeah,
a lot of this episode.
so did I.
Like watching this episode for tonight's stream was almost like watching the episode for the first time. Not gonna lie.
Like I remember the Parasite stuff from like the beginning, like when they first approach him, and then even like I remember seeing him in the bed, like kind of reminded me, it kind of rings some bells, but a lot of things I was like, oh yeah, that's right. It's like, okay, so Earl overpowers them, and then of course we get this whole like
I completely forgot that part. That was the thing. It's like,
here's the crowd.
Here's the crowd. I know,
Yeah.
but I thought something else was like. I truly had forgotten this episode. It was crazy.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun when that happens though. And then so basically we hear Earl's voice coming out of Parasite, which is, it's kind of interesting because you go from like, what are we talking about here, to to just like I can't even do Earl's voice, but it's obvious, or Brian Cox, I get, but it's so just elegant and just soft, and
Well, because he's Scottish.
Yeah, there you go. He's
but he doesn't get the full on brogue. But it's like, but he's more like very refined. It's like, no,
there you go.
It's like,
yeah, you do accents better than I can. Yeah.
Inspector Sawyer. It was how nice to hear from you.
Exactly.
It was it's so good. It's also, I want to take a moment to realize that we're getting a little bit of a Blade Runner reunion going on this episode, because let's remember that Brian James is the voice of Rudy, and Joanna Cassidy is the voice of Maggie. So them playing together, because they were both replicants in the first Blade Runner movie. I'm just like,
two replicants.
Yeah, that was
nice.
Nice.
Always nice callback to. It's always nice to call back to Blade Runner. So now we got that, and then obviously he lets him know about where a location could possibly be, and it's kind of interesting because when we cut to, I mean, this is where it gets kind of, it is a little ridiculous. Like all of a sudden we're like cutting to like Maggie and Superman scuba diving down to a shipwreck.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh no, that one not ridiculous. You know what's ridiculous?
What? Say it.
Superman's S is on his scuba suit.
Yes, I wrote that too. I'm like, why the fuck does he have an S? Why do they even put an S on his scuba suit? Why?
I was like, action figure.
Yes. Oh yeah, they're trying to sell toys with this shit right here, dude. They're trying to sell toys. They're like, hey, slap an S on anything that he has to. But yeah, I wrote that too. I was like, just Maggie and Superman scuba dive down to the ship.
But you know what?
Superman S on the scuba.
But like, you know what? It tracks. They slapped an S on the anti-kryptonite suit. They slapped an S on his space suit. Why not slap an S on his scuba suit?
It's merchandising, baby. It's right. Your brand. You're selling the brand. I mean, anytime Batman has some kind of whatever the heck, there's a bat on it. I mean, just look at the, like, I remember when David Ayer posted that close-up of the Suicide Squad, Cal, and he had the his
rebreather.
Yeah, the rebreather right there. It had the fat bat right in the center of it. It's like, why do you need that? You don't, but it's all, I mean, hey, Batman 66, that's where it all started. They put bats all over the place.
And that is a funny joke from Batman Earth 1, the graphic novel. Or is it Earth? No, it's not Earth 1, because Gordon's not in Earth 1 volume. Earth 1 volume 2, when he gives Gordon a phone, and Gordon even goes, he put a bat on it. like it's like a thing where Gordon looks at it and he's like,
like, really?
Really?
Do that. But yeah, it is kind of funny to see it with but hey, got to sell those toys. But yeah, so obviously we got that. They swim down to like a little shipwreck, and then of course we cut back to where we see, like, in, I guess you could say, inside of the brain of Parasite, and you see Earl and Rudy talking, and of course, naturally, at the hospital outside his room, we have the useless guard
drinking coffee.
Exactly.
Drinking coffee.
always drinking coffee.
Always drinking coffee. Yes.
Yes, and we were like, okay, why? What the hell is this guy gonna do? And surely this is what happens because obviously, things were like happening where he's trying to get out. He's trying to get out of like being strapped to what he's strapped to, and then of course the struggle happens like in the mind, and then of course the guy just comes in, the security guard or the guard just comes in, and then he goes and he just stands right in front of him, like, what's
Right in
happening?
front of him.
Right in front of him. It's like, can you tell this guy that he should be having his gun drawn and at a distance? But no, it wouldn't make it as exciting. It has
No,
to be
we have to walk right up to the
Yes.
energy sucking supervillain.
like right. It's ridiculous, and naturally he grabs onto him and gets a little bit more energy, gets to break out, and then he just starts, of course, just going buck wild when it comes to the hospital because
That's a really kind of, I mean, because we cut back to Maggie and Superman, and it's a shipwreck that's going to collapse, and they have to narrowly escape.
I did find it funny. I did find it funny when it was like when he said like Maggie goes like, he's just playing games with us, and then Superman goes, no, he's just trying to buy time. We should go back. I'm like, well, technically, that's the same thing. He's playing games, so he's buying. Okay, Superman, whatever. I know.
But I also wanted to point out the fact that damn, Maggie is going to have a terrible case of the bends.
Oh yeah, because like coming up from the surface like that,
right? Because look, okay, if you've ever been scuba diving, it's like, what are you supposed to do? You like, you stop and you equalize your pressure, and or you're gonna have a major case of the bends. And man, Superman just flew her straight out. Maggie shouldn't even be walking at this point. She should be like curled up in a ball.
She's gonna be all messed up. I mean, that's what's funny. It's like, well, it's like, all right, about they wanted to make it dramatic, I guess you could say, because as the shipwreck, it's all collapsing. Superman gets hit by something where his helmet breaks, but of course he's Superman, so it doesn't really matter. And then of course
he can hold his breath that long.
Yeah, true. And then it's like she grabbed, and then like, it's like, go up, but it's like he had to make that dramatic, like we see the outside and it's like a geyser is shooting up, and it's like, but yeah, you're right. I didn't even consider that. It's like, you're going that deep. Yeah, you should slowly come up, or else, it's
gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad for you, but hopefully,
Maggie's gonna be okay. Yeah, Maggie was walking when they got to the hospital. It's fine.
It's totally fine.
But I did think it was kind of a almost funny when they get to the hospital and you just see everybody. Like everyone's been sucked. Everyone's been zapped, and it's like just like everyone just got taken out. Like,
it's kind of it's a little freaky moment, and then of course, they're just like sitting there waiting for the call from well, I guess you could say Earl, and then of course Earl calls and he says he wants I guess it's like a subway station that's or what it's kind of like it reminded me of that episode of Batman the Animated Series with the old it was when we had Jonah Hex in there, that episode when it came to
Showdown
location. Kind of reminded me of that location a little bit, but
the mine that was like Ra's al Ghul's like secret.
Kind of reminded me of that, but it's so, and he's got to bring him the money, and how much was he asked for? Like 20 million, I think it was. Or something.
You know what? I didn't even pay attention to the amount. He wanted it, but it was supposed to be an unsigned bearer bonds. So,
so there you go. See, that shows you that guy is smart. So when he shows up, obviously he's like talking to him. You just hear his voice. It's kind of creepy. When he just kind of like hear his voice, and he just tells him, and there's like a big giant hole in the ground that says like you can't even see how deep it is, and blah blah blah. And you kind of go like, all right, well, immediately I just go, well, that hole is going to come into play.
That's Chekhov's hole. Let's go.
Somebody might have to clip that one out. Huh? That's Chekhov's hole. What? What's happening with that? What are they talking about on this stream? They're talking about holes and fucking whatever.
Stop it.
Cable. I love it. But you're right. It's like one of those like, that's going to come to play.
That's gonna mean something later.
Yeah, it's going to mean something in a little bit here, which of course, he drops. He puts the suitcase down where he tells him to, and of course we see the bomb. But then it was like, surprise! all of a sudden the hand reaches up and grabs on his
That's
Superman.
that's freaky though. Like he's
cool.
he's like buried himself underneath the dirt. Like that was creepy.
Smart. I mean, again, Earl is very smart. So so then of course he does that, and that's where we get like a little fighting that happens right here. And again, this is what's kind of cool too, because obviously we got Superman who's a little drained when it comes to like this fight with Parasite. And Parasite, of course, is a little amplified. So now it kind of brings
it levels them out. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what's and even Earl says, like, why the hell would I even want money when I can have your power? And it's like, oh, yeah. See, that's diabolical. That's a villain right there. When they don't care about the money, they want the power.
It's not about the money.
Yeah.
It's about sending
the message. Yes, there you go. There you go. Good on Earl. I like it. I like the evil villain isms right there. So then we're gonna like get to the clip here because
the clip.
The clip. Let's see these two go at it. And naturally what's happening too, because we got to remember that Rudy is still in there. He's still in there, but Earl has just overpowered him. So Rudy is still seeing all this. So now Superman is just like, hey, Rudy, he don't care about you. He's essentially because and again, going back to like how villain-esque this Earl is like he doesn't give a shit because it's like, hey, obviously he wants his power, but then at the same time it's like, yeah, you could kill me, my body is still somewhere else. Because
because if he doesn't get all Superman's power, then that means that the time limit on Parasite's drain is going to run out, and his consciousness is just going to like return to cinder.
Exactly. There you go. So and he doesn't, so he doesn't care. So here we go right here when it comes to this clip. The climax of all this right here.
That's all you've got.
That's all you got.
Come over here and hold out your hand like a good
God, I didn't realize that.
Like a good boy.
Yeah. You'll be killed too.
Yeah.
Will I?
See?
My real body's miles north of here, resting peacefully in an ambulance.
Hear that, Rudy? He's willing to sacrifice you.
It'll never come to that.
And then we got that shot right there.
He's already
cool.
taken control.
It's really well animated. I mean,
it really is. And this right here. Go into the mind.
Crowd me out, Garver? Is that where this is going?
Rudy, you're a loser without me. Is this or the set?
Some choice.
Rudy,
get him! Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna. Yeah.
That's backbending right there, baby.
Fight him, Rudy.
Fight him. Yes, Superman. Get him, Rudy. Uh-oh. Code doesn't work.
He's changed the code. Rudy?
Uh-oh. He got him.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Oh! You can tell he's got some Superman strength because he just went head first into a rock wall.
He definitely does. Dun, dun. Look at the score going right here.
There's Chekhov's hole. He threw the bomb down the hole. Okay, now I want to do the Tiny Toons thing where I go, and then later go down the hole.
Yeah. Why do I go down the hole? And then we get a little Batman grip action right here. We always talked about how Batman had really good grip when you grab onto something like this. But of course, Superman would have really good grip, even though he's not. And I love this because he has to leap like that.
Leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Exactly. He's not at full power. I love that. And then Parasite. Explosion.
It's Oppenheimer.
Pretty much. Right there. That's right. See what he created. And then, of course, we get the dramatic, let's get out of the rubble of the explosion right here. And he's just like, nah. There we go. Back to the
fact that it's still, you can tell Earl is still in charge because that walla of it was obviously Brian Cox doing it.
Exactly. And it's funny too because that shot of him like waking up in a bed, that bed is in the back of an ambulance that is in midair.
That was a great reveal where he opens the door and you're just like,
what? Shit. He's flying, and yep, that's right. Superman is flying him right to Stryker's Island. And then I love it too when he's walking, he's doing the the walk of shame.
Yeah, the
down
perp
to
walk. Yeah.
and then you hear Rudy just laughing his ass off. And at first you might be like, oh, is he laughing because Earl is now in here? No, he's laughing because he's got his cable TV, baby.
And that's a big ass TV, by the way.
It is. Well, I mean, he did say it earlier before before all this happened. He goes like, he looked at Maggie, go, hey, warm up my big screen. He said that. He said,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he said that. So we knew he was getting a big screen right there, like right on the wall. So Rudy's happy. Earl is now behind bars, and the bomb went off, but did not destroy the city. Good job.
Yes.
Superman.
Thank you, Superman.
Thank you so much. So there you go, guys. That is season 1 of Superman the Animated Series. Right there, 13 episodes. Great stuff. We've been enjoying it. And I mean, now what are we moving on to next? Obviously, season 2.
Season 2. So yes, we got the season 2 premiere of Superman the Animated Series. Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is.
It's a 2-parter.
Oh, okay.
So we get Blasts from the Past, part 1.
God, okay, so that's ringing bells, but not enough. I'm gonna have to look at
the
thumbnail.
See if the thumbnail helps you.
Huh? Oh, the thumbnail. Okay.
I will tell you that we finally get properly introduced to a Superman concept that was briefly mentioned, and now we get to see the Superman the Animated Series version of it.
Okay. See, my brain is not grabbing onto this, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm gonna give you a visual clue. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I got you.
Okay, yeah,
you're
with me now.
Phantom Zone.
Yes,
yeah. That was a good.
Thank you. That means nothing to the people listening to this on the podcast. Like, what the hell did he just do?
Yeah, if you're only listening to this, you didn't see Scott did a full-on great. Like, if we were playing charades, totally, I would have gotten it. Like, because it's just the way that he posed like that. It was like, all right, yes, Phantom Zone. It is. That was beautiful.
You're welcome.
Beautifully done, my friend. Beautifully done. So yes, watch that episode, and we'll be back.
Remember, just part 1.
Just part one. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we don't do. We do every episode individually. So do part 1, and we'll talk about that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm happy to revisit this because I'm like, oh, I'm remembering things, but not quite fully everything. So I'll make sure you guys check that out. And yes, yeah, season 1. Like I said, it went by so quickly, but we've been having fun talking about it, and hopefully you guys have been liking it too.
And we'll make a note for all the people who keep on wondering, have you guys done season 3 of Batman yet? No, we haven't. But season 2 is when season 2 of Superman the Animated Series is when season 3 of Batman started to air. So now that we're getting into season 2 Superman the Animated Series, watch out. This is when you're going to be waiting on pins and needles at the end of the episode to find out, are we going to talk about a Superman episode or are we going to talk about a Batman episode?
Yeah, this is what's going to get fun. That's right. So you'll see
only I know Dave doesn't.
Because Scott decided he was like took it upon himself to figure out what the crossovers were. So what you're going to see is when we talk about a Batman episode, the font will turn back into that lovely Batman the Animated Series font, and it'll be considered like episode whatever. I know we still got to kind of figure that part out, like how we're going to
the numbering is going to drive Dave insane. I figured out the numbering, however you want to do it. But
we'll figure it out. We'll definitely we'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out. But yeah, just remember that it'll go back and forth, and you'll probably see our old like little avatars like looking like how we were on the top of the building or something like that. So yeah, it'll be just reverting. So it'll be fun. It'll definitely be fun. I think it'll add something to the stream here, and we're both definitely looking forward to it.
Oh, I am so excited.
Yes, it's going to be exciting. So yeah, Blast from the Past part 1. Watch that next week. We'll be back right here. And go ahead, Scott. Let's send us off.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, wherever podcasts can be found. We have recorded our Blue Beetle review and should be dropping either tonight or tomorrow. And of course, we're on Vero, Facebook, and YouTube with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com.
There you go, guys. All right, smash that like, thumbs up. We'll see you guys tomorrow, Film Junkie Live. Hopefully, I'll have power then, because Hurricane Hillary.
You've got the power.
I got the power. Yeah. Hopefully the Hurricane Hillary is not that bad. It seems to be real. There's like people outside. I'm hearing kids outside, so they're having fun in the rain because it's warm. It's, summer rain. It's nice. Winter rain, not so much. It's just cold and wet and blah. But summer rain can be fun. Anyways, that's what I kept hearing throughout the stream. I was like, there's kids outside right now. I guess they're having fun jumping in puddles and whatnot. But anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Smash that like, thumbs up, subscribe, do all that stuff. We will talk to you later.